is starting where. So we have just under 4 minutes to go, and starting on pole position, Guillaume, is going to be Ugo De Wild. He did a 1:57.1 in qualifying, and that was 6 tenths quicker than the man who starts alongside him, Riley Phillips.
Yeah, the fastest of them all, the young Ugo De Wild, with that beautiful livery of flower power put together by the 3M M3M team, livery that goes back to 2017 and the Spa 25 hours. And Ugo De Wild, hopefully for him, Ugo De Wild will be able to bring those colors up to the front. For the rest of the grid, we had as well for the rest, as you said, rally. That's quite an amazing first line of the grid. That Mathieu Detry just behind will be more than willing to get himself into the battle for the win. That's for
Thank you, Guillaume. Yep, don't forget to put your race predictions in the comments, guys. Let us know who you think's going to win this one. So starting alongside Ugo De Wild, we said, is Riley Phillips. And it's going to be interesting to see those two. I'm sure they'll go toe-to-toe going into the first corner. Riley Phillips, given he was 6 tenths slower, really has to take the fight to Ugo on this first lap. Now, Mathieu Detry is, in fact, starting in third place. He had a pretty good qualifying there. He wasn't actually too far behind Riley Phillips either. Max Leonard will be in fourth place. Behind that, then, is going to be Piers Stockton. Now, in our UK series, he had a very good last race, so could be one to watch here, Piers. Behind Piers in sixth place is going to be Steve Clays. Then we move to row number 4, Matthew Martens, and behind that is David De Seeger. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Jay Shepherd. Well, we do also have, I believe, Chris Hart is going to be up there as well. So Chris Hart also within that top 10, Jay Shepherd likewise. Then just out of that is Vincent Decluso. He is going to be in 11th place. Starting alongside him on row number 6 is Xavier Veal. Then row number 7 is Schinkel, and alongside Schinkel is Eric FC. Then starting on row number 8, Axel Soyez, and behind that we have Pierre-Andre Guillaume. So here we go, 5 lights are on. When they go out, we will have the Virtual Funcup European Series underway, and we are off, away and racing. Riley Phillips got a fantastic start there, and he is already going to be going side by side with Ugo De Wild as we go down towards turn number 1, and Riley Phillips goes down the inside, and he has gone past Ugo De Wild. Ugo De Wild trying to get the switch back now as they come through turn number 2. Brilliant stuff this out front. Ugo De Wild now down the inside there of Riley Phillips. He takes the lead back. Mathieu Detry now goes through to second place behind Riley Phillips in third, as Max Leonard now dives down the inside of Riley Phillips, and he goes up into third place. So
back to the lead, Ugo De Wild now in first position. Excellent départ de la part du jeune pilote belge qui s'est fait piquer la première place l'espace d'un instant par Riley Phillips, qui a maintenant rétrogradé en troisième position, puisque Mathieu Detry s'est infiltré en deuxième place sous la pression de Max Linard en quatrième position, et nous n'en sommes que dans les premiers virages du premier tour, et déjà une belle bagarre. Et attention, Mathieu Detry qui vire large, malheureusement, qui vient de perdre cette troisième position. Mathieu Detry going a bit wide, Chris, on that one. He just lost to Max Linard.
Yeah, just getting a little bit wide there. Now Chris Hart's on the move as well. He started in 8th. Oh no, what's happened to David De Seeger? He's gone tumbling down the order, I'm afraid. He's down into 12th place. We can see him at the top of a picture, but we have to stay with these two because Max Leonard here trying to get down the inside of Riley Phillips, and now down to the inside he goes, and Max Leonard into second place. Brilliant stuff there. Phillips down to third. Mathieu Detry now also trying to get involved in this as well. All of this is allowing Ugo De Wild to get by. Chris Hart, unfortunately, is slowing down at the back of shot there, and I don't know what's happened to Mathieu Detry, but he's had a problem as well. He's gone back into the pits, so I'm not too sure if he's had a disconnect there, but we'll stay with this battle for now. In fact, why don't we run through the top 10? So Ugo De Wild leads, Max Leonard is second, Riley Phillips then is in third place. These two are side by side. Then it's Clays in fourth, Matthew Martins is in fifth place. Oh no, who's that that's gone off? That's Xavier Veal, who's gone off us as well, just a little bit further back. And Xavier Ville, I saw him off the grass, and he is now going to drop down the order, I think, as well. So going back further, we've got Steve Clays, Matthew Martins, Vincent De Cluzo, Ville then dropping down the order. So Eric FC's made a fantastic start. He's up to 7th, Jay Shepherd's up to 8th, and I think this might put Pierre-Andre Guillaume into the top 10, and Axel Soye as well, as now Jay Shepherd goes past Eric FC for 7th, Guillaume. But we are on board with Riley Phillips, who is chasing down Max Leonard at the moment.
Yeah, in the meantime, Max Leonard did a very good job passing by Riley Phillips for 2nd place. One ball Riley, the man responsible for all this race and the championship, is going to try to get back into 2nd position. And this plays well for Ugo De Wild, your leader, with a bit less than 2 seconds, a bit more now than 2 seconds lead on those two on your screen, battling for 2nd place. Donc, excellent départ, excellente entame de course pour Ugo De Wild, puisque nous avons la bagarre entre Riley Phillips et Max Leonard pour la 2e place. Juste derrière, vous les avez tous les trois dans la même image ici, dans le secteur du retour de ce circuit d'Assen. Une bagarre qui fait les affaires du jeune pilote belge, puisqu'il est occupé à creuser les autant que faire se peut, alors que Riley Phillips est très très menaçant, vous le voyez sur Max Leonard. Belle bagarre pour la 2e place dans cette entame de course au passage de la chicane, là où beaucoup de temps peut être facile, et qui va pouvoir prendre l'avantage au terme de cette ligne droite de départ et d'arrivée. Pour l'instant, Max Leonard conserve cette 2e position.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clays is another one who's ran into some problems. He was slowing up. Unfortunately, you can see he's lost by his lap time. He's lost around 7 seconds on this lap. The fact he has come across the line can only be a positive, though, as he is now battling with Jay Shepherd. Oh, no, Jay Shepherd's off. Well, what happened there? Jay Shepherd is off, unfortunately, onto the AstroTurf. So we've had a battle, really, that we couldn't take our eyes off. And unfortunately, in the background, there's been absolute pandemonium. So I'm being told Matthew had to slow down. Matthew Detry had to slow down for a track cut there. So he has had to serve a penalty. We've had Axel Soye go past Pierre-Andre Guillaume. I think, in fact, I'm being told Pierre-Andre Guillaume has unfortunately run into some problems, and he's dropped down the field. Soye has picked up 10th. Ville has now gone past Jay Shepherd, who, of course, was slowing down. But Guillaume, it looks to me as if Leonard and Phillips, the fact that they aren't battling means that they are keeping Ugo De Wild honest here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We actually gonna have to keep a good eye on those trains here on Hull Falls. Hasn't actually extended that much. It has actually decreased, to 1.6. So Ugo De Wild is currently unable to build as much of a gap as he would like, because those two still keep a good pace behind while battling for. Donc une bagarre très très intéressante dans le deuxième place, avec un changement de position. Riley Phillips qui prend l'extérieur sur Max Leonard. Superbe dépassement juste avant la chicane, de retour sur la ligne droite de départ et d'arrivée. Magnifique manœuvre de la part de Riley Phillips qui s'empare de la 2e position. Le prochain objectif pour lui, c'est le leader au volant de la numéro 50, Ugo De Wild. Mais très très belle manœuvre de Riley Phillips. Et Max Leonard, je pense qu'il a été quelque peu surpris, puisqu'il vient de laisser quelques précieux dixièmes dans la besace, à peu près 1 seconde de retard pour Max Leonard en 3e. Et we have a few comments coming up on the Twitch stream. A few things in French, if I may read them to you. We have Arnaud Samer, the very well-known French humorist and drivers in the European Virtual Funcup, who says bonne course les copains de la Virtual Funcup, a good race to everybody. Merci beaucoup Arnaud Samer d'être parmi nous et de soutenir l'effort de cette nouvelle série à Assen. We have as well other comments coming up. Allez David, go 172, and go Mathieu et Dave. This is from Gas Racing Team, and don't hesitate. Keep on talking on the stream and give us any encouragements, questions, or any info that you.
Thank you, Guillaume. Yes, keep those comments coming in. Whatever language they're in, they will be read out by Guillaume, and we'll have French updates from him regularly throughout the race. So Xavier Ville has just gone into 7th, but this is a good little battle, isn't it, between David de Seeger and Jay Shepherd. You can see Jay Shepherd in 9th place, David De Seeger in 10th place. Pierre-Andre Guillaume is trying to fight with this. In fact, this is the battle for 8th and 9th, is it? No, it is 9th and 10th. So Jay Shepherd just ahead of David De Seeger at the moment. In the background, I can see Pierre-Andre Guillaume and Piers Stockton there in the all blue livery. So let's go a little bit further up the field. Let's check in with what's going on with Eric FC, because he's had a fantastic start to the race, has got all the way up to 8th place, Guillaume. Eric FC is just an example of, if you keep your nose clean sometimes, you could gain a lot of positions, and he is now trying to chase down Xavier Ville for 7th.
Yeah, absolutely. And behind Eric FC, we have Eric Stalin, the French driver for M3M competition, and he's been part of the M3M team competing in the very fun for the past season, and now up for the season to come if we ever get back to track. Let's stay
sorry, Guillaume, there's been an incident there between Jay Shepherd and I think that was David De Seeger. David De Seeger is off, and let's now pick up the battle between Piers Stockton as well, because he is now battling here with Pierre-Andre Guillaume down the inside. Piers Stockton in the blue car, Guillaume in the yellow car, and Piers Stockton goes through to 10th place, but an unfortunate shunt there between those two. We'll try and get a replay. We'll try and get replays up at some point throughout the race. But that was a banging of wheels there between Jay Shepherd and David De Seeger. De Seeger coming off the worst, but here's the battle for 2nd between Max Leonard and Riley Phillips. There is now a gap of 3.4 seconds to Ugo De Wild, who is out in the lead, since these two had a little bit of a scrap not long ago. I can see Piers Stockton had dropped away from Pierre-Andre Guillaume. He's now around 4 seconds behind him. He's battling away with David De Seeger, but we have to stay with this one, because Max Leonard is trying to do a move here on Riley Phillips as just going down to the chicane. It looked as if he was going to try and pull off a move there, Guillaume, but in the end thought the better of it. A hectic first 10 minutes to the race. Phillips, the two continue to battle when it's just extending the lead for Ugo De Wild here, but lots of changes going on behind this. Jay Shepherd has gone past Eric FC for 8th. David De Seeger has gone past Pierre-Andre Guillaume for 10th place as well. But this, our main focus at the moment, it's within the podium position as Piers Stockton now goes past Pierre-Andre Guillaume for 11th place. But Riley Phillips has gone back past Max Leonard now. Ugo De Wild 5 seconds in the distance, though, Guillaume. So it's going to take a mistake, I think, for Riley to actually close down Ugo De Wild.
Seconds in the lead, and it's a battle for 2nd place. Donc, belle bagarre que l'on suit pour l'instant entre Max Lénard en 2e et 3e position, alors que nous avons David De Seeger à l'écran brièvement. Jay Shepherd, ce sont les deux pilotes impliqués lors du tour précédent dans un petit incident, mais qui a quand même coûté gros à David De Seeger. Alors en pleine bagarre pour la 2e place, eh bien, il a perdu des plumes de l'aventure, rétrogradé en 12e place, mais le voilà déjà de retour dans le top 10. David De Seeger en 9e. Espérons que les encouragements, il les a peut-être entendus d'ailleurs, les encouragements qui nous viennent du stream et de ses supporters, David De Seeger, que vous avez à l'image là-bas dans la voiture orange et blanche. Nous avons Piers Stockton en 10e position dans la machine toute de bleu vêtue. Quoi qu'il en soit, pour l'instant, chers amis, Ugo De Wild tient toujours le bon bout, 4 secondes 9 d'avance sur les deux pilotes que vous avez à l'écran. Rex Linard en 2e et 3e position. Voilà une bagarre qui promet d'être très très chaude dans les...
Yep, we go on board now with Max Leonard as he is now behind Riley Phillips. I'm sure more than anything these two are enjoying this little scrap that they're having. Actually, they may be 5 seconds behind Ugo De Wild, being just pointed out that David De Seeger has actually come into the pits, unfortunately. So David De Seeger there has clearly had some problems. He now finds himself in the pit lane, but we are looking at the battle for second place here between Max Leonard and Riley Phillips. We're on board with Leonard at the moment as we make our way through turn 16, now down towards turn number 17. Leonard actually pushing Riley Phillips along there, it looks like. So Leonard happy to sit in third on this lap. Whether that will be the case now we go on to the next lap, we'll have to wait and find out. But the gap sitting at 5 seconds to Ugo De Wild. They've got some 13 seconds behind them, these two, so they've got plenty of room to try and sort this one out now. It's just trying to decide who's going to do the leading and who's going to do the pushing here. Thank you, Guillaume. Right, so this is your race leader. We haven't seen much of him since the start of the race. In the background, you can see Riley Phillips there with Max Leonard behind. But if you weren't with us for qualifying, this is the start of the Virtual Funcup European Series. We are at Assen for the first time, and why don't we take you around for a lap with the man who is leading this race by just under 6 seconds at the moment. So Ugo De Wild into turn number 1 we go. It's a 90 right. On the brakes there, take a little bit of curb, and Ugo De Wild executing that one very nicely. Now through turn 2, flat out into there. We now come up towards turn number 3. A long right-hander, this one, which takes us straight into turn number 4 there. Take a little bit of curb. You'll then be in the middle of the circuit for the hairpin at turn number 5. And now we have the very fast section, which takes us up to turn 8. So two more corners here. Essentially, they are flat out though, and now we go down towards turn number 8. So this is the chicane, turn 8-9 chicane. Hard on the brakes we go here. Now lots of curb through turn number 8. Take a lot of curb through 9 as well. Fast section, that one. And now we head down towards turn number 10. This is where Ugo De Wild could have executed some moves if he'd had to. And now Ugo De Wild takes us to turn number 11. 90 left. This one, Ugo De Wild, it's been a pretty good lap for him so far. He's only just over a tenth off his personal best at the moment, as he now takes us through turns 12 and 13. Similar to turns 3 and 4 we had a little bit earlier on. And this now the fastest section on the circuit between here and turn number 18. We are flat out. First is 14. Through there we go. Now 15, 16, 17. They happen very, very quickly. There goes 15 through turn number 16. Now we go. And 17, a long, long left-hander, which seems to go on forever. And that will take us into the braking zone. It seems a while since you've had to hit the brakes by this stage. Now we hit the brakes for turn number 18. Quick chicane. Take a lot of curb all the way through it, Guillaume. And that is a lap of the Assen circuit.
The dates are skipping right now, but we should be able to. But yeah, Ugo has had a career so far competing in France in the F4 national championship, being one of the fastest and then one of the best drivers of the championship. Then switching to Formula Renault Cup, and he had quite an interesting and competitive first season. Not always easy, of course, as a rookie in such a competitive championship. But he's putting a lot of efforts and a lot of hopes on this second season for hopefully climbing the ladder of motorsport and stepping as high as possible. So that's the least we can hope for him. But once again, as we didn't expect this scenario in 2020, I can only hope for not only for Ugo, but for all the other drivers waiting to get back on track, that they'll have the season they deserve and they'll have enough of track time to prove themselves and to be able to bring the results they deserve. That's another story, and Ugo has very promising things ahead of him.
Yeah, so we've got a driver slowing down there. Jay Shepherd is coming to the pits. We've got 2 drivers slowing down there. In fact, so I imagine they are serving some slowdown penalties. Axel Soyer is one of them, and Pierre-Andre Guillaume was the other. So we come to Riley Phillips now. Let's speak about him. In second place, Guillaume is the man behind all this series. I say man, still only in his teens is Riley Phillips. He's put this series all together, developed this car as well. And well, he started all this last year, in the middle of last year, I believe it was. And I don't think he knew that it would turn into him running 2 championships eventually, because he runs the UK one and also the Euro Series as well. He's only 17 years old, is Riley Phillips, so still not old enough to go and buy himself a beer yet, and he's under all this stress putting a full championship together. We'll come back to him in just a second because there has been a change for fourth, so let's quickly check in with that. Here we can see De Cluzo battling away with Matthew Martins. De Cluzo in the black livery, Martins in the greenish livery. In that yellow livery, slowing down, that is Pierre-Andre Guillaume, who is been serving a penalty, I believe. So Pierre-Andre Guillaume has dropped down. So it's De Cluzo into fourth, Martins into fifth. So let's go back to second place then. What we were saying about Riley Phillips, the 17-year-old. It's very, very impressive, isn't it, Guillaume? It's your first time with us commentating, and of course you'll be with us throughout the series. It's very impressive, isn't it, that a 17-year-old can put all of this effort to develop a championship here. As here we can see that looks like we'll come back to that, because what a fantastic battle. Oh no, Steve Clay's almost going round there, sent into a half spin. Pierre-Andre Guillaume, I've got to say, now finally backing out. Was involved in that battle a little bit too much for my liking. He was. It looks like he was attempting to get out of the way, but I don't think he was slowing down enough. But Steve Clay's in sixth, trying to get past Matthew Martins, and at the moment we now settled down. So that battle's settling down for the time being, but I believe that's where we'll see most action. But
épreuve ici à Assen. Pour la deuxième position, Maxina vient de nous produire une superbe pour prendre l'avantage sur Riley Phillips. De retour en troisième position, mais il n'y a que 2 dixièmes entre les deux, alors que nous avons une autre bataille également qui fait rage plus loin entre Matthew Martins et Stephen Clays. C'est la bataille pour la 5e place, et pour l'instant, je crois que Steve Clays a bel et bien pris l'avantage. Steve Clays en 5e position devant Matthew Martins, qui n'a pas dit son dernier mot et qui va tenter de ravir la 5e position au pilote de cette superbe Fun Cup aux couleurs vaillantes. Beautiful battle for 5th place, and there's still a lot happening on track, and certainly all the way to the checkered flag. We have still a bit than half an hour to go.
Yeah, look side by side. Here we go. Steve Clays, Matthew Martins on the outside. Steve Clays on the inside. They're banging door handles there as they come round turn number 17 in towards turn number 18. We go. Steve Clays now getting that position back. So he is in fifth once again. Matthew Martins in down to 6th place. And only up the road from this is Vincent De Cluzo in 4th place. He's had a fantastic race so far. De Cluzo's worked his way all the way up to 4th place. As on board we go. Matthew Martins here trying to get the switch back now on Steve Clays, and he's done it perfectly. So Martins goes up into 5th place now, and now these two have got to try and chase down Vincent De Cluzo, who's going to be looking in his mirrors, hoping the battle keeps going. So brilliant stuff. It's hard to know where to look now, because we've got that battle for second between Leonard and Phillips, and then this battle here between Clays and Martins as Clays goes down the inside once again. Martins trying to go round the outside. Martins at the moment is the one who is just ahead, and he's going to go up into 5th place. So Clays once again down into 6th place. De Cluzo just ahead of this in 4th, Guillaume.
And what a fantastic battle. Quelle belle bagarre. En tout cas, une des deux qui fait rage pour l'instant sur ce circuit d'Assen. Nous sommes quasiment à mi-distance de cette épreuve d'une heure. La première donc de la Virtual European Series de la Fun Cup en 2020. Et cette bagarre, eh bien, Steve Clays et Mathieu Martins, Vincent De Cluzo, juste devant en 4e position. Mathieu Martins au volant de la numéro verte, Ores Racing, et Steve Clays au volant de cette superbe vaillante. Michel Vaillant, évidemment familier de bon nombre d'aficionados du sport automobile, particulièrement francophone, mais également en dehors des frontières de France, alors que Steve Clays s'est offert une petite glissade sans encombre. Ça se touche limite entre les deux. Quelle belle bagarre. Steve Clays qui prend l'intérieur et qui ravit la 5e place. Superbe manœuvre de Steve Clays qui repasse en 5. Mais Mathieu Martins n'a certainement pas dit son dernier mot, alors qu'ils sont côte à côte, roue contre roue. Magnifique passe d'armes entre les deux. C'est pour une 5e place, mais elle vaut son pesant d'or, effectivement, entre Martins et Steve Clays. Le pilote belge, eh bien, doit baisser pavillon et se retrouve de nouveau en 6e position. This is brilliant racing that we're witnessing right now. Will Steve Clays be able to get past again? Maybe not in the chicane, but he's going to come up very, very soon.
Yeah, this is brilliant stuff, isn't it? We're on board with Steve Clays now, who's looking to the outside of Matthew Martins. These two, though, they're just letting Vincent De Cluzo get away with this one because De Cluzo was only a second ahead last time we were coming through this corner. De Cluzo is now almost 3 seconds ahead, so is Matthew Martins and Steve Clays. You'd have to say, with the time, we about half an hour still left in this race, I think they're battling for this position just a little bit too hard, but we're not complaining because it is absolutely brilliant to watch, isn't it?
Stockton à l'écran, and another battle happening on track race. This is the third one happening in the top 10 only, opposing Xavier Well and Pierce Stockton.
Yeah, let's stay with this one for a little bit. Well, I say that. Let's director overpowering me there because he's taken us back to this battle for fourth now because Matthew Martins, since getting that pressure off from Steve Clays, he's now already closed down the 3-second gap that Vincent De Cluzo have, and he's now looking to go round the outside of Vincent De Cluzo, and Matthew Martins going into fourth place there with a brilliant move round the outside of Vincent De Cluzo. Has he had a track cut there? Because he's now having to slow down, so I think there may have been track limits from Matthew Martins there. He's had to slow down, and he's dropped now to sixth place, so I think that must have been track limits there.
Oui, effectivement, sans doute un souci de franchissement de bord de piste pour Steve Class, puisque vous l'avez vu lever le pied juste avant le franchissement de la chicane. En effet, Steve a senti le coup venir et d'ailleurs, il est rentré au stand de Steve Class Voilà, Steve Class qui a donc bien senti qu'il avait dépassé la limite de la piste et allait possiblement écoper d'une pénalité. Il a levé le pied, a perdu du terrain en conséquence. Ça a permis et Vincent Ducluseau de prendre le large. Ils ont essayé de savoir ce qu'il en est de la part de Steve Class, qui est toujours donc dans la pit lane et qui va logiquement, évidemment, vous le voyez sur la gauche de votre image, bien rétrograder dans la... So Steve Class in the pit lane, Chris, seems like he was aware that maybe he was on the verge of having a penalty and decided to turn on the pit, and as a result, he's gonna tumble.
Yeah, it looks like Clays has picked up a penalty here, so let's stay with this battle. For second place as Max Leonard, trying to dive down the inside, that's brave, into turn number 17 of Riley Phillips, couldn't quite get past, so let's go back to the battle for fifth because De Cluzo in fourth place, trying to hold off Matthew Martins in fifth. De Cluzo on the defensive is going to get a bad run now out of turn number 13 and through 14. Matthew Martins is now just about alongside, and through number 14 we go. De Cluzo having to give him room. So are they still going to be like this by the time we get to the turn number 18 braking zone? I wonder. De Cluzo, you can see him in the black livery car on the inside. He now runs a little bit wide though through turn number 17. Martins is going to try and be brave down the outside and gets back through into fourth place. Now let's check in with the battle for second because Max Leonard has gone back past Riley Phillips, Guillaume. So changes. There may only be 11 cars on track, I can tell you, make that 10, but there is changes all around the order.
Oui, on ne sait pas où regarder effectivement puisque ça change à tous les étages de ce classement. Ici à bord de Riley Phillips, le pilote en troisième position. Juste devant lui, eh bien, c'est Maxime Lénard qui est repassé devant, mais qui a toujours 14 secondes, 5 de retard sur le leader. Bien tranquille, Ugo De Wild, depuis l'entame des... Il reste un peu plus de 20 minutes, 23 pour être précis. Et nous avons cette bataille qui fait rage pour la deuxième marche du podium, le premier accessite, et il semble que Riley Phillips va tenter à nouveau sa chance par l'extérieur de la piste sur Maxime Lénard qui tient bon, qui ferme la porte et qui ne s'en laisse pas compter. Il faudra réessayer un peu plus loin pour Riley Phillips. Quelle superbe bagarre, Lénard contre Phillips, et attention, ça se touche même, et Riley Phillips qui passe et qui prend la deuxième position au prix d'un léger con. Il faudra voir s'il n'y a pas de la pénalité dans l'air pour ce genre de manœuvre, mais en tout cas, Riley Phillips repasse en deuxième position, et nous avions juste avant la belle bagarre également et Vincent Ducluseau pour la quatrième place.
Yeah, brilliant racing this, isn't it? And Riley Phillips now back ahead of...
It was about, but one of the guys watching the stream mentions, and unfortunately, that the cars that have been disqualified so far, and it includes David Zager or Mathieu Detry, were all disqualified at the same place pretty much in the chicane. And maybe but that's something out of control. It has to do with the game itself, is that due to the risk of being disqualified if you cut the corner at the chicane, the distance between the exit of the chicane and the start-finish line is actually too short to allow the drivers to slow down enough and avoid the risk of a disqualification. And that's a good remark, but unfortunately, there's little we can do, and it's up to the driver to avoid going off the track at this particular.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd say just don't get the penalty in the first place, but that might be a bit of a blunt response. But yeah, I can see their point, but you know, it's one of those circuits. You know, whatever circuit drivers are going to push the limits. There's no doubt about that. As Riley Phillips is pushing Max Leonard, trying to get past Max Leonard here as they make their way down to the chicane. You can see Riley Phillips just having to look to the outside here of Leonard. Leonard having to take a slightly tighter line through the chicane there. Riley Phillips, we're on board with him. He's going to try and sell the dummy as he was looking to the outside, and in fact he's going to push Max Leonard along. So Guillaume, at this stage of the race, and before I ask you this, Guillaume, I am going to ask everyone in the comments to let me know, who do you think is going to win in this battle, as Riley Phillips once again going down the inside, the inside of Max Leonard there. But I have to say, Guillaume, who wants to be ahead going into the last lap here? You can see Leonard on the inside there of Riley Phillips once again, and the pair are going to be side by side now going down towards turns 8 and 9. But 7.5 minutes to go. Do you want to be the driver ahead going on to the last lap, Guillaume?
No. I don't think I would like to be in that position, actually. And as we say in racing, it's always easier to chase than to be chased. So I would say, but once again, this is just theory, that the smartest move would be to try to get the overtaking down in the last lap. Try to be at the start of the last lap and go, hopefully, if it works, in the latest part of the track to make sure that you're not being overtaken again. You know, it's always easier said than done. And at the moment, I would say being in the position of Leonard now back in first, maybe try to wait, keep a distance, keep the gap under control, and maybe go for the move in the very last lap and make sure to close all the doors all the way to the checkered flag. But again, we should see what's going to happen. But I'm sure that Riley Phillips might have the same idea in mind.
Yep, into Riley Phillips opening the door there. He had Leonard alongside, so had no choice really but to allow him to go through turn 16 and 17 as well. So De Cluzo is out of the race, I'm afraid. He's dropping down the order. Eric FC has now gone up into 7th, as we can see Riley Phillips back alongside Max Leonard, having just lost second. He's now going to go back past once again in towards turn number 1. This is a battle now which really we're just thinking about that last lap. So if you're, for example, Leonard here and you do this move at this stage on the last lap, could that be the move that secures you second? Because that is what they're going to be testing out now. They've tried moves at almost every corner. Riley Phillips back down the inside there at turn number 5, and now they make the run all the way up towards turn number 8. And they've been like this many laps. They've been side by side at this stage, going down towards turn number 8 several times now, and it's almost like we're seeing a repeat. So it's going to be interesting mind games being played between these two here, Guillaume. Not only mind games between each other, but mind games going on within their own heads as well.
Yeah, mind games, absolutely. That's the name of it, happening right now. Et une finale de cette épreuve dans les derniers instants qui ne va nous tenir en haleine jusqu'au bout entre Riley Phillips et Max Leonard. Cette bataille magnifique avec des échanges de position, virage par virage presque, avec chaque ouverture qui est exploitée tantôt à merveille, tantôt plus difficilement par l'un comme l'autre. Et pour l'instant, nous sommes à bord de Max Leonard en 3e position, qui continue de mettre la pression. Et comme nous discutions à l'instant avec Chris McCarthy, eh bien, le plus smart des deux, le plus futé, le plus rusé des deux, peut-être sortira de cette bagarre. Il est toujours préférable, comme on dit, d'être dans la position du chasseur que du chassé. Et attention, une nouvelle tentative par l'intérieur de la courbe ici de la part de Max Leonard, qui reprend l'avantage brièvement, mais Riley Phillips, eh bien, qui contre-attaque. Et un nouvel échange de position magnifique. Et regardez, les côte à côte en bordure de piste à l'approche de la Chine. Absolument magnifique. Et Maxime Leonard, eh bien, qui se maintient en troisième position. Pour l'instant, je dirais, en théorie, avantage, puisqu'il aurait peut-être l'occasion bien, de ravir la deuxième place dans un dépassement dans le dernier tour et faire en sorte de ne plus jamais être dépassé par Max Linard. Mais ça, c'est la théorie. Nous allons voir ce que ça donne en pratique, puisqu'il reste un peu moins de 4 minutes avant la conclusion.
Yeah, brilliant battle going on. As here we go, Riley Phillips down the inside in towards turn 5. That was a good move, that one. And back down the inside he goes of Max Leonard. So Riley Phillips puts himself back into second place. Max Leonard down in third. 3.5 minutes to go as Matthew Martin's behind these guys. Has set himself a personal best lap time. So good stuff there from Matthew Martins. But Guillaume, the battle continues to rage on here between these two.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the trickiest part of the race, certainly, because, you know, in this, as we said, in theory, Maxime Lénard is maybe in the strongest position of them two. You know, maybe he's not waiting for the end of the lap to attack again, and there he goes around the outside, going into second position. This is beautiful, playing with the sides of the track, and you know, look out for any penalties in the air for that. But so far, so good. And this is like ballet, isn't it? Between those two drivers until checkered flag. This is a thing of beauty between those two, because they do that in such a manner that it seems like they're dancing with the wheel in the end, you know. And yeah, this is beautiful racing that we to witness. But once again, a change of position between Phillips and Dina. Who's going to come in front of the other? This is really, really hard to say. And right now, I wouldn't know who to put my money on, you know, at this point of the race, because as the seconds, you know, and as we have a one driver slowing down on the left, but nothing to worry about for all. As we're getting near the end of the race, this is just down to one last and a very well-placed move, shall I say.
Yes, it is. So 2 laps to go then. This is it, penultimate lap. Now they start to, in their own heads, place themselves in position for that final lap. They've been battling with each other the entire race, Max Leonard and Riley Phillips, but this is where every single move could now be the move that gets you that second place. So here we go, the run down towards turn number 8. Let's go on board with Riley Phillips then pushing Max Leonard down to turn number 8. So clearly, at this stage, he is happy being in third through turn number 8. Now through turn number 9 we go. The run down to T10. We're not going to see a move into there. Turn 11 is where we might be able to see a move, but Leonard's had a good run through turn number 10, so he's got a bit of a gap now as they make their way in towards turn number 11, or has he? Phillips closing in. And he's now going to be trying to line himself up now for that turn number 18. I believe that was Axel Soye. We actually saw parked on the outside of the circuit there. But the run now down towards turn number 18. Ugo De Wild is going to be starting the last lap of the race very, very shortly. Here's Riley Phillips. He's got just about enough room to get by going in towards turn number 16, and he has gone by. Leonard drops to third. Phillips now goes into second place. Can Leonard fight back going into turn number 18? I wonder. He might not have to even fight back into turn number 18 because he's already through before they even get their gear. As we now go on to the final lap of the race, down towards turn number 1 for the first time, for the final time.
Un tour et quelques kilomètres, 4,5 pour être précis, qu'il reste entre ces deux-là. Maxime Lénard et Riley Phillips, c'est la bataille pour la deuxième position ici dans le virage numéro 1, et Lénard qui repasse en deuxième place au détriment du pilote britannique. Il reste un tour moins désormais pour décider de qui montera sur la deuxième marche du podium. Magnifique bataille en tout cas, loin derrière Ugo De Wild jusqu'ici impérial, et qui s'en va pour signer la première victoire de sa saison dans cette compétition. Après avoir longtemps rêvé des lauriers à Spa-Francorchamps il y a 2 semaines, il est sur le point de les ceindre pour de bon. Mais c'est la bataille qui nous occupe pour l'instant à l'écran entre Maxime Lénard et Riley Phillips, qui va nous tenir en haleine jusque dans les derniers mètres. Qui va pouvoir l'emporter entre ces deux-là? The battle is on.
Yeah, through turn number 8 we go, in towards turn number 9, a move there down the outside, not working for Riley Phillips, but has Leonard just opened up enough of a gap here now, going into the final half a lap. Through turn number 10 we go for the final time. Riley Phillips is going to have to try and close in. Ugo De Wild is around 35 seconds ahead of this, and we will try and catch him when he gets across the line. However, we cannot take our eyes off this battle. Now, round turn number 12 and 13, we go for the final time. Let's check in and see where Ugo De Wild is very quickly. He's come across the line. The winner of the first round of the Virtual Funcup European Series is Ugo De Wild, but who is going to finish behind him in second place? Here we go, on board with Riley Phillips as we make our way through turn number 17 for the final time. Oh, what a brilliant switch back there from Riley, and he's got the move in towards turn number 17. Can Leonard fight back? He's trying to find a gap down the inside, and Leonard goes down the inside in towards turn number 18, and he's got it. Max Leonard is going to finish in second place ahead of Riley Phillips. A brilliant end to the race. Brilliant sportsmanship between the pair. A fantastic way to kick off the Virtual Funcup European Series. Fourth place, Guillaume, is going to be Matthew Martins.
Wow, what an end of the race. Quelle finale extraordinaire, chers amis. La victoire de Ugo De Wild méritée, puisqu'il a dominé les débats depuis la séance qualificative jusqu'au terme de cette épreuve. Mais quelle magnifique passe d'armes jusqu'au drapeau d'amis, jusque dans les derniers mètres, on le disait. Et c'est Maxime Liénard qui sera finalement parvenu à prendre l'avantage. On croyait pour Maxime Liénard jusque dans les derniers virages. Et ce passage à la corde de la chicane, Riley qui n'avait plus qu'à se défaire, en tout cas refuser cette troisième position qu'il pensait tenir, cette deuxième place, il pensait la tenir, Riley Phillips, jusque à l'approche de la chicane. Après cette superbe manœuvre, ce croisement trajectoire qui lui permet Liénard à la corde du virage numéro 17. Mais c'était sans compter sur la ruse de son adversaire qui est parvenu à reprendre l'avantage juste à la chicane, et à partir de là, eh bien, c'était messe complètement dite pour Maxime Liénard et pour Riley Phillips, qui aura tenu le bon bout jusqu'à très très proche du drapeau damier. Mais quelle magnifique passe d'armes, et tous les deux eh bien, auraient mérité sans doute de, pourquoi pas, monter sur cette deuxième marche du podium côte à côte. Mais il fallait bien un vainqueur dans la bagarre, et c'est Maxime Liénard. Riley Phillips, magnifique passe d'armes. What a great race we've had, Chris, to kick off this 2020 of the European Fun Cup series, and many more to come, hopefully. But it was really such a great way to start.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, wasn't it? The two moves at the end, just as good as each other, and a fantastic race between Leonard and Phillips. So Piers Stockton's actually been pushed back to the pits by someone. I think he might have run out of fuel, actually, Piers Stockton. So Ugo De Wild takes the win. Leonard in second, Phillips in third. Matthew Martins in fourth. It looks as if fifth place is going to be Piers Stockton, sixth Xavier Ville, Pierre-Andre Guillaume will then be in eighth place, Alex Soyer in ninth, and Vincent De Cluzo in 10th place. That looks like that will be the order at the end. We'll now